Okay, hi students. Today we're gonna be working on poetic sound devices, and now you have these pages also in your language arts composition book. And I'm actually gonna be on our poetry resources slides. Oh, what is this? 10, starting from slide 10. I'll be on 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so the poetic sound devices that we're going to be working on today is alliteration and onomatopoeia. I'm also going to explain assonance and consonance, but these two will actually be, your teacher will actually go over them on Monday. Okay, but for this video, I'll cover all four of them. So to begin with, let's go to slide 11. Let's define what each of these sound devices are. So alliteration is, the definition is the repetition, the repeating of the initial or beginning consonant sounds in a series of words. For example, Henry's hamster had horrible hygiene. So the H sound is repeated. H is a consonant letter. And another example, Lana liked leftovers when she felt lonely. The L sound is repeated. And you notice it's the beginning word, the beginning sound in a series of words. So it's the first letter. Okay, now for onomatopoeia, this is another poetic sound device. Now onomatopoeia's definition is words whose sounds imitate their meaning. For example, she slapped her hand away. The word slapped sounds like what a slap sounds like. So that slapped is an example of an onomatopoeia. Another example, the mosquito buzzed near my ear and I jumped up. The word buzzed sounds like what a buzz sounds like. Isn't that cool? Okay, now let's go to another, let's go to your assignment slides so you know what to do for your alliteration and onomatopoeia. Now for your assignment slides, they are on slides 9 and 10. This is for Friday. Alliteration and onomatopoeia is Friday's assignments. So for alliteration, the directions say, read the sentences below. If the sentence includes an example of alliteration, write yes in the box. If it doesn't include an example of alliteration, write no in the box. Okay, so number 1. And remember, for alliteration, we're looking at the beginning initial sound, okay? And for alliteration, it has to be a consonant sound. So we're not looking for the beginning to be a vowel. So vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. And so remember, it's a consonant sound at the beginning, and it's a repeated consonant sound. Number 1, Tommy taught his twin brother to twist and turn on the trampoline. So I'll just tell you, number 1 is an example of alliteration. So for number 1, you would type yes. Okay, and it's an example of alliteration because you see the consonant sound at the beginning of the word Tommy, T, taught, T again. His twin is another T, consonant sound. Brother, to, twist, and turn on the trampoline. So all of these beginning T sounds are at the beginning of the word, and they're repeated right throughout this sentence. So this is an example of alliteration. Okay, so that you would write yes. Number 2, Marcy honored her parents with a thoughtful speech at their anniversary party. Number 3, Nina sighed sadly when she saw her score on the history exam. So now remember, if you see an the sentence is an example of alliteration, write yes. If it is not, write no. Number 4, Peter saved his pennies to buy a sweet and salty pistachio pretzel. Number 5, normally no one notices when we change the sign in front of the school. Number 6, several soaring songbirds flew over the sand and shore. 7, Kevin phoned his pals to let them know he needed a ride. Number 8, Thomas worried that he was overthinking the assignment. Number 9, most likely we are moving to Maine in March. Number 10, the colorful clown car careened into the circus ring. Now, number 10 is a little tricky. I know there's a lot of C's, colorful, clown, car, and careened. But here, circus, I know a circus is a C, but it does not make the same sound as these other C words, colorful, clown, car, careened. Okay, so number 10, however, is an example of alliteration because you have enough of the repeated consonant sounds of C, colorful, clown, car, careened. But I wanted to point out number 10 because number 10, for circus, you don't just look at the letters there and say, oh, I see another C, circus. And so it has to be alliteration because C, I see a lot of C's, okay? It's the sound that it makes. In the next section, it says, write alliteration sentences below. Make sure to have at least 3 alliterative words in each sentence. So for numbers 1 to 5, choose, first of all, start off by choosing a consonant sound. And for each sentence, you must have at least 3 alliterative words in each sentence with that consonant sound. Okay? Now for slide number 10, this is your slide for onomatopoeia. It says directions. Match the following sentences to the onomatopoeia that describes them. So here are onomatopoeia words: tinkle, pop, bang, crunch, smash, click, and growl. Now here are 7 sentences. So after reading each sentence, match the onomatopoeia sound that would describe the sentence. Okay, so number 1, a plate being dropped on the floor. What onomatopoeia sound would it make? Tinkle, pop, bang, crunch, smash, click, or growl. Number 2, a balloon being burst. Choose a word in the box above. Number 3, a gun being shot. Number 4, someone eating chips. Number 5, a light being switched on. Number 6, a fierce dog. And a small bell being rung. Okay, so this is slides number 9 and 10 are for Friday's homework with for alliteration and onomatopoeia. I'm going to go back to our resource slide and I'm going to go over slides number 12 and 13. Okay, slide number 12. This is actually for Monday. So Monday, the 2 sound devices that we'll be working on is assonance and consonance. So let's find out what this is about. Okay, so the definition for assonance is the repetition or the repeating of the same vowel sounds among words. Okay, for example, Lynn insisted it was in the kitchen. The I sound is repeated and it's a vowel sound. I. So I know why. I know you see Lin and there's a Y in there, but the Y, that when you say Lin, it makes that I sound. Okay, so Lin insisted it was in the kitchen. Do you hear that I sound? And it's repeated. Okay, so assonance is the repetition of the same vowel sounds among words. Here's another example. Anne asked for another apple and some crackers. The A sound is repeated. That's a vowel sound. Okay. Now, consonants, the definition for this poetic sound device is the repetition or the repeating of the same consonant sounds among words, not just the initial words. So consonance is usually within the word, whereas alliteration is at the beginning of the word. So all's well that ends well. So you notice the L sound is repeated. And you notice that for consonants, it's the repeated sound is not at the beginning of the word. Here's another example. Mike likes his new bike. So the K or the K sound is repeated. Now, slide number 13 is just a review of all of the poetic examples or poetic sound devices that we went over and their examples. So onomatopoeia, some examples are tick tock, click, clack, drip, drop, and sizzle. Alliteration, here's an example of alliteration. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet. And this is part of a poem from Robert Frost. And it's the S sound. Okay? That's repeated. For assonance, remember this is the repetition of a vowel sound. I must confess that in my quest I felt depressed and restless. And this is from Thin Lizzy. Okay, so you notice the repetition of the confess, quest, felt, depressed, and restless. So it's the E vowel sound. Okay, and for consonants, remember this is the repetition of a consonant sound, but not at the beginning of the word. All mammals named Sam must be clammy. So you see, it's that M that's repeated throughout this sentence. So in your assignments on Monday, you have 2 slides to do, and you have to do slides 11 and 12. So for 11, it's your slides for assonance. It says read each sentence, find the words that show assonance and type them in the boxes. Last, identify the sound that is repeated. And for each of these, you notice we have clues for you. So in this first sentence, there's 2 words that show as assonance. Number 2, there's 3 words that show assonance. So let's take a look at number 1. The breaking of a pipe led to a fight. So the 2 words that show assonance would be pipe and fight. Okay, do you hear that? And the repeated sound is the I sound, okay? Pipe and fight, okay? And you hear that repeated vowel sound. Okay, so you do the same for numbers 2 to 9. Number 2, before you go, give the gift to the kid. Number 3, he chuckled when the supper was never even started. Number 4, make sure you put enough glaze on that baked cake. Number 5, I was proud when I made a perfectly round cloud in my drawing. Number 6, in order to reach the beast in time, travel through the beach town. Number 7, sometimes the fame gets to your brain and all you feel is drained. Number 8, be careful that you don't trip the girl wearing pearls. Oops. And number 9, please send the yeast to the baker again. Okay, so that was your assignment for assonance. Okay, so remember vowel sound that's repeated. Okay, slide 12 is consonants. So read each sentence, find the words that show consonants, and type them in the boxes. Last, identify the sound that is repeated. So it's pretty similar to slide number 11 for assonance in the fact that, there's clues here that show how many words you're looking for. And you're going to also type in the sound that is repeated in the last box. So number 1, the black slack is in my locker. Okay, so you notice black slack. So it's the k sound, the CK sound that is repeated here. Number 2, don't touch the couch too much. Okay, so you'd write 3 words here that show consonants, and then write the sound that is repeated in the last column. Number 3, he struck bad luck when he didn't wear his lucky socks. Number 4, Mike doesn't like to show off his new bike. Number 5, I'm so bitter because you like to litter on my lawn. Number 6, did the dog crawl to get the ball from under the table? Number 7, he went to the post office and sent the check. Number 8, the boss caused chaos before the layoff. Number 9, we need the snowblower in the winter. And number 10, Bella will send the bound book when she is done. Okay, so again, if you need help, please see your teacher during office hours and try your very best on these assignments. Thank you very much.